Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. 76ers forward Tobias Harris returned to Game 3 of Philadelphia's first-round playoff matchup with Boston on Sunday after bloodying his face in a fall. Harris was trying to contest a shot by Jason Tatum at the 2:40 mark of the third quarter and inadvertently had his legs taken out from under him by Tatum. Harris fell on the left side of his face. He laid on the court for several minutes as medical staff attended to him. He was eventually able to walk off the court on his own power with a towel over his face, but blood was visible both on the towel and on the court. Coach Brett Brown told ESPN after the quarter ended that Harris told him he was okay shortly before he left the court. The team said he suffered a left eye laceration and was cleared after a concussion evaluation. He returned to the game with 5:12 left in the fourth quarter with a bandage over his eye. After a terrifying fall late in the third quarter of Sunday's 110-106 loss to the Boston Celtics, it appeared Philadelphia 76ers forward Tobias Harris' season was about to come to a close, but after suffering a laceration over his left eye and being evaluated for a concussion, Harris returned for the final few minutes of Sunday's loss as Boston closed out this first-round playoff series in a 4-game sweep and ended Philadelphia's season. "Just because I could," Harris said. When asked why he checked back into the game, "I felt okay enough to go back out there and be able to try to do something to help us try to win. I'd rather go down with my guys than sitting in the back. So really, that was the main reason why." Harris, who finished with 20 points in 35 minutes for the Sixers, was coming down the lane when he jumped in the air and got his legs tangled up with Celtics forward Jason Tatum, causing them to be swept out from under him and for his body to go perpendicular with the ground. He then landed on the ground head first, before writhing on the ground in pain and being attended to by Sixers personnel for several minutes, including Coach Brett Brown, who came over to check on him. Harris eventually got up and walked off the court under his own power, holding a towel to the left side of his head. He returned with a bandage on it for the final few minutes, and blood appeared to be coming out of it by the time the game was over. "I'm still in some pain with it," Harris said. "It was a hard fall, for sure. Obviously, got stitched up here, and my ribs were kinda affected. Big thing is how I'm gonna be feeling tomorrow morning, and I'll see. So, hoping and praying for the best." The Sixers were right in the game when Harris went out, but after he left with the team trailing 80-77 late in the third quarter, a 16-2 Celtics run over the final couple of minutes of the third and opening couple of the fourth left Boston with a 96-79 lead with 9:55 remaining, and all but sealed Philadelphia's fate. "I feel like the game flipped when Tobias went out," Brown said. "I think it was a 2-point game, 3-point game at that stage. I think that they went on a 16-2 run during that period, and at that moment, the game changed. Up until that moment, I felt pretty good about what we were doing." On Thursday, the Sixers were missing Georges Niang and Tyrese Maxey, and they were playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. Still, they should have had the requisite firepower to top a severely shorthanded Brooklyn Nets team. Brooklyn had possible 2022 MVP Kevin Durant, but few other key players. Kyrie Irving plus James Harden and another 6 rotation players were out after returning positive COVID tests, with Blake Griffin and a cadre of barely drinking age players trying to contend with Joel Embiid. The stage was set for Tobias Harris to step up, who was going to cover him. Kessler Edwards, appearing in his 4th NBA game. Instead, Harris fizzled, shooting just 3 of 17 from the floor, failing to take advantage of plus matchups against some dudes who were not even in Steve Nash's rotation a couple days ago. Harris was a -17 in 37 minutes, and his defining play of the night was overplaying a KD pull-up triple and fouling him for a game-ending 4-point play. 30 games into the 2021 NBA season, it's fair to say that Tobias Harris is struggling mightily. Plenty of frustrated fans are thrusting his name into trade machines. So what's really going on here with Toby? Does he just miss Bobi? Slow start. Harris is now averaging 18.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, 3.4 assists. He's shooting 46% from the floor, just 30% from distance, with a true shooting percentage of .540. A season ago, he averaged 19.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shooting 51% from the field, 39.4% from deep, and a TS percent of .597. Through as many games last season, the Sixers had one of the best starting fives in the sport, and by early March, Harris was considered by many to be worthy of his first All-Star game appearance. In 2021 to 2022, through the 21 games he's appeared in It's been a combination of Tyrese Maxey and Seth Curry who have emerged as the Sixers' next most reliable scoring threats after Embiid. Let's try to unpack what's going on. Not fully healthy. Before Harris contracted COVID in early November, his numbers were a little closer to his 2021 campaign than they are today. Through 6 October games, he averaged 19.8 points, 9 boards, 4.2 dimes, and shot 54% from the field with 32% from deep. I'm largely inclined to take it easy here on Harris, as I do not believe he's playing at his peak form today. Harris had the breakthrough COVID infection with symptoms, like Joel Embiid did earlier in the season. Harris missed 6 games with that, then later a couple with a sore hip. Then he got a non-COVID flu, missing 9 total games so far. He's been back in the lineup now for 7 games, but his production is still lacking. Back on deck. 3. Coach Doc Rivers talked about the player he has now coached in Los Angeles and Philadelphia. Harris mentioned feeling like he has a cold every day. As fans, we may assume if you're out there, you're fully healthy mentally and physically, but this is clearly not always the case. It sounds like the veteran, now in his 11th season on his 5th team, may be dealing with a lack of wind and some chest pain, a possible symptom of COVID. Per the CDC, this is all very scary stuff, and as we acclimate to a new oxymoronic pandemic normal, we should probably be accounting for long COVID taking a toll on fully vaccinated players beyond return to game action. Like his coach has mentioned, Harris may feel like he can't catch a break right now. One of the team's emotional leaders, you have to feel for him. You won't find a better teammate in the game, so it's especially difficult to watch him struggle. Some of us do care. Tobias, Ben Simmons' absence affects Harris. Another element here which seems like it might be impacting Harris is the absence of Simmons. The Sixers have been an elite defense when both Simmons and Embiid are in the lineup, and all of those stops and rebounds or live ball turnovers in the past allowed the team to get out and run. Last season, Harris saw 2.7 transition looks per game. Almost a fifth of his field goal attempts came on the run, where he shot a robust 61.3%. This season, he's getting 1.9 transition looks per contest, with 12.8% of his tries coming when a defense isn't fully set. We don't want to overstate this since it's only accounting for 1 field goal opportunity per game, but 1 extra wide open look from 3 here or a layup there would have made a big scoreboard difference in winnable games like recent losses to the Miami Heat and Nets. They may go even further and harder to measure ways like boosting a player's confidence, helping find rhythm, or igniting a nervous crowd. On the other end of the floor, Harris spent a huge portion of the most recent game defending Durant. If Simmons was in the lineup, Harris would have spent more time guarding David Duke Jr. Just a tiny drop off there. In some, so to some, if Harris isn't feeling fully healthy, if he's not getting out and running as much in transition, if he's making some room for Maxey to shine, if he's not getting quite as many chances to carry the team without Embiid in, it makes some sense that he is playing below his standards. This is all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, and if you are new, then don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for the future updates. See you till the next video. Thank you for watching.